What is happening?
Everybody at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the friggin' A, dude.
Crazy. Tony Dungy.
What are
That
we
was great
doing?
tweet by him. He's like, the other teams didn't capitalize, but he said like a bunch of other teams did it. Like, why even throw it and risk the incompletion and like all that?
There's
kind of
no
stuff.
need. There's no need. And I always say this in these types of scenarios. And I get it. The coaches don't give a crap about us. They're coach to coach. But if you hand the ball off and it doesn't work, you're going to face less criticism than trying to be the smartest guy in the room and do a pass, and then he catches the pass, or he doesn't catch the pass. He ended up dropping it, and he should have dropped it. I listened to McNabb today. McNabb liked the play call. Well, I don't like the play call, and I don't like a lot of the things that McNabb did. So I'm angry.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. But anyway, welcome. Live every Tuesday night, Facebook, Instagrams, and YouTube, which we just started really using YouTube, and first 1,000 people are entered in to win a free jersey. So you watch us live there and comment. And as always, the comments are delayed, so we will get to you. Please stay with us, and we will feature you on here. The Instagram comments. What's up, Seattle Spiked Iced Tea? The Instagram comments do not pop up in here. YouTube and Facebook do, and I can put it up on the big screen. But I am following Instagram, so I can see Merrill Reese liked the play as well. Our friends say in the audience.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
I was after the drop, they kicked 3, and I was like, 6 points. Like, you can't just keep him out of the end zone. Vic Fangio's red zone defense has been pretty good. In that first game, like, we had the turnovers, and he held them to like 6 points. He was able to just keep him out. He's like bend but don't break guy. 0 pass rush, and up 6. Like, I don't know. You think you'd get a stop there? There's a million ways they could have won it. They could have just ran the ball there and then did the tush push on short and ended the game there. A lot of people hated the early decisions to not take points and field goals and stuff like that. I'm of the opinion of even if we were talking like pre-show, even if the Eagles were up like big, like most NFL games come down to the end to the fourth quarter, and with 2 timeouts in 30, almost 40 seconds, 35, 37 seconds. I mean, they had a huge chunk play to Goddard, which, why don't we show it? Because I don't think he realized, like, even with all that and even with the incompletion and even with everything that went on in the game and not taking points and leaving 3-6 points on the board, you still have the ball in your hand.
And we will do the try. Two.
You take the lead here.
Tonight for Philadelphia, out with a bad hamstring.
Good first play.
Over the middle.
Huge, amazing play here. They need like maybe another 15 yards to get within 60.
13.
They still have a timeout here. 26 seconds. There's mad time.
Hurts gets hit as he throws and intercepted.
Horrible.
Picked up by Jesse.
Yeah.
There are no flags.
They did so much time.
And
so even with all the bad play calling, like, go take Elliott. I've seen him kick 63-yarders. I've sat next to Annie Elliott like millions of times. Like,
no wind at all.
No, he would just get 10 yards.
Fact, as the game went on, it got nicer and nicer and nicer. The humidity kept like dropping and dropping and dropping. The humidity was like really low, but at that point, I'll take it back in time just a minute. So there was a lot of discussion on the page today about Nick Sirianni not accepting that encouragement penalty, which, yes, I do fully understand the game and how it works and how, you're going to run a play and that's going to run more time off versus the clock stopping and all of that. I get all of that. Again, going back to run the ball, you do that. You make that clock decision. Now it's 3rd and 3. You can run the ball 2 times in a row. You're telling me Saquon Barkley up the gut, tush push, everything. You can't get 4 yards in 2 plays, you'll win the game there. You win the game there.
With
You
the
don't
run.
need to kick it. You win the game with the run. I wouldn't have even wanted them to do anything else but go for it on 4th down. Run it on 4th. Say they got 1 yard and it was 4th and 2. Go for it again. Run. Nobody will be
I
mad
don't
at you
know
today
if they run the ball and it's 4th and you're only up 3 points, you still have to kick the field goal there on 4th down and go up 6 and force them. And they scored in 20 seconds. The Falcons.
I agree with that, but I think the way that our offensive line is clearly our strong suit. We'll talk about the defense and the despicable lack of a pass rush. But if you're telling me we're resting our identity on our offensive line, they got to be able to get you 3 yards at the end of the game to win the game.
They gotta, but if you don't,
if
the
it was
Falcons
4th and 2, I want them to go for it. I want them to go. Run,
and then if they don't get it there, then they're only up 3. Maybe
but then they got to go the whole field. They got to go the whole field. They got to go the whole field.
Play for a field goal and it goes to overtime. I don't know. The Falcons scored fast, and then we still have time. So
3 yards at home.
So a lot of things went wrong. We could talk about it all day. Obviously, the play there is run it and give them way less time. But even with less time, with 40 seconds, they scored in 20 seconds. The Falcons. With 40 seconds, we threw a pick at the end of the game. Like, they churned us, and a lot of it had to do with the pass rush and $51 million Bryce Huff. And you have Brandon Graham on his farewell tour, played all night last night and was on WIP this morning and was on the radio with like one shoe out the door. So this guy was like PFF's. Everyone loves that site when it talks good about you and the Pro Football Focus scores good on you, but then everybody talks nonsense on it when it doesn't work out. But Bryce Huff, a disappointing signing to say the least, $51 million. And he's a situational, at worst, even if he can't stop the run, he's a situational 3rd down edge rusher. And at the end of the game, they could not get – I saw Vinny Curry say on PHLY. You're telling me at the end of that game they can't get 1 sack? Like, you make any Eagles team ever, like even Chip Kelly years, like you have a lead and there's a minute something left, like get 1 sack. The Falcons had no timeouts. We had 2 and couldn't drive down and win the game. The Falcons had 0 timeouts with a minute something left in the game, and it took them 6 plays, 29 seconds, and they marched all the way up the field. You can't get 1 sack. You can't make 1 tackle inbounds to keep the clock running. What is the matter with you?
That's insane. Bryce Huff stat: 0 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for loss, 0 quarterback hit, 0 passes defended.
What does it matter?
0. And his number is 0, which is even funnier.
Meg Sports Shop. How many, Sirrianni? Leave Nick out front of Xfinity Live. Dude, I almost wish that, like, somebody ran in out of bounds and hurt Nick Sirianni's knee, not Dunphy. Maybe we'd
Here's my like global worry about the team. I'm not worried about the team, but I do have this worry. I felt like I was watching last year's team towards the end of the season last night. It felt just like it. Same frustrations, the same questionable play calls. I had no sense that there was a new offensive coordinator. I had no sense of really much change at all. We're ignoring the fact that A.J. Brown not being in there does change the dynamic ability of the offense. However, decision-making wise, play calling wise, I felt like I was having deja vu.
Yeah, and I was listening to the radio this morning, and Ray Dinger seemed to think Hurts had a good game. Was kind of slow in the first half, but you didn't have A.J. Brown there. The offense was a little bit slow, and like we always say, it's regardless of the score, it's still going to usually come down to the end. And I had to disagree with Ray. I just thought
I do too. You're only as good as your last play, and for him to close his eyes and chuck that ball up, no reason. You still have a timeout. You still have time on the clock. Give your team a chance. You can't chuck that ball up like that. He had a good game. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have been in it if it wasn't for some of the decisions he made. But if he's going to just continue to make that one single boneheaded play,
He thought he looked
I said
healthy.
that last week. I literally said that last week. I said, you asked me if the Hurts turnover thing is going to be a problem, and I said point blank, I'm like, it could be if it continues to happen every game. He's going to turn.
He had 2 last week. It could have been 3 or 4. He had obviously the one at the end last night, and it could have been more. The running is, although it helped us at times, and you didn't have AJ Brown, he made plays with his legs to keep the chains going. Like he runs like that for the next 4 or 5 games.
Pull your mic back a little.
It's
not distorting a lot.
He's not getting through the season if he runs it like that. And he flushes the pocket too early still. And it's a problem. And I'm worried. And it does look, on that sense, it does look a lot like last year. However, people saying in the last 11 or 9 games or so, they're 2-7. They had a winning record last year that made the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs this year. They would have to to not win 9 or 10 games, even as bad as they look last night, and not make the playoffs versus the other teams around the NFL. Most of the teams are 1-on-1 right now. So I don't want to be all negative. A lot of teams are 1-on-1. The Lions are 1-on-1. And the 2-0 teams are fraudulent. The Bucs are fraudulent and the Saints are fraudulent. And they're going to find that out this week.
I don't know about the Saints. We'll see. The Saints could be good.
There's always those teams. I've seen teams who start 3-0 and then they don't win a game.
If the Saints start 3-0, we're 1-2. We're down bad.
Speaking
of positive, let's talk about the tailgate, because the tailgate was absolutely epic. Probably the most epic regular season tailgate I've seen in a long time for an opener.
It was great. And I just C6, Sean and them, every week, do that and put that on 4th and John and G2, put that on. And we always talk about it. We're just happy to, know all these guys and go, and we're down to contribute and push them and send donations and do whatever we do. But it is heavy work. We were putting up tents and stuff. I was trying to help out where I can, carry cases and load the bar and stuff for them. But the Eagles tailgate, no other. And Bobby and Lot D.
We do crazy. Too, Kelce. We love E-Rock too. And he sits right behind us to the right of us. Just by luck, he's always sat there. And if you ever go in his story during games, he always takes videos of us acting like lunatics.
He was hardcore. He was probably that main line in front of Xfinity, pulling into Wells Fargo. He was probably car number 3, and it went.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he's always there. Went relatively unnoticed with all the people on the news and stuff in the morning. He was just, he was with family and stuff too, and he was, going to different tailgates and things like that. But he was literally probably the second car. I don't know if you saw that video, but Monty G pulled up in his little motor scooter. And he got in. He was one of the first people they let in the lots, and then E was right behind it. And see Malik just walking down the street, yo, we're about to go. So that was crazy.
It's been funny. Just to keep my wife happy wife, happy life. I just took her out for a little bite to eat after being absentee for the past day, and she was kind of busting our chops a little bit, about how we're just the sideshow freaks of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the fact that we're even mentioned in the same sentence as some of these legendary fans has been so fun. I mean, the list.
Yeah, originally when we started on the page, it was kind of a news feed and aggregator, and we weren't really on it a whole lot. So it's just funny that people run into us and they're "Oh, you're on Philthy and Philly," because we really for a while we weren't really, our face really wasn't on it that much. We were kind of just sharing stuff we liked. So
yeah. We had fear. We had fear to go on camera because we both have real jobs. My job is serious, and so is Phil's. And I've always gone to games, and we've always had a good time. And we started bringing that. And And the hilarity, and we'll get to how we ended up on stage story. But like what my wife was saying to me, it's like you shirtless with the overalls on, Santa Claus, Nady, green face guy, Dumpy with the tattoos, and then I just got my jersey on, and I'm just like normal guy, and it's just funny.
The new alter ego.
My new alter ego is just normal guy. Like, what's that?
At the normal. There's at the Philly sports guy, and there's at the normal guy.
The normal guy. But listen, man, me and Philly sports guy, we sat there and talked about the Eagles for hours. We both have the same passion. He's just 10 times crazier than me.
Yeah. I have this as my probably the most recent stop my screen. Most recent how we ended up on stage a little bit. This is some more like behind the scenes footage.
Oh, there goes the ankle. Or the knee.
Oh my God. That was too much fun. So yeah, like shout out to Chris Nady. If you don't know him, you probably do. He always has a huge bed sheet with a new sign every week. He wears the Jim McMahon. He's QB2. He's got the mullet. He's got the headband. He's always vibing. One of the craziest Eagles super fans, Chris Nady. He's like, yo, I'm going to this tailgate if you want to go see Bobby, and then we're gonna go to the Monday night countdown because he's friends with Dutch, who, if you've seen the guy that doesn't wear like any sleeves, that's always rolling with Jason Kelce. He's like his like unofficial like bouncer guard guy. They asked, I guess, for like Dumpy and a bunch of like crazy super fans dressed up. I think Jamie, like Philly sports guy, he was doing an event with Tick Pick and Nick Foles, so he couldn't come up. So we just roll with Nady. We didn't even have credentials or wristbands or anything. We just kept walking. We're like, hey, just follow him. Just go. And they're like, hey, you guys want to dance or anything? I'm like, we're with them. And they're like, all right, let's go.
Let's put these crazy people on ESPN. We're not going to have you sign any waivers. We're not going to have you do any. We're just go on stage and jump around with Jason Kelce. I'm like, yes, I'm in.
He did not tear his ACL. I thought it was Achilles at first because it landed and he grabbed like the bottom, but he like his knee. So he's on crutches, and someone on Instagram asked, he did not tear it. I think it's just like really sore. He just can't. He got vertical as hell and like landed on it with all his weight, and then he kind of came back and fell into me. So like any clips I posted, I was kind of falling over a little bit. But no, he's cool. He just got like a crutch just to like keep the weight off of it a little bit, but he's gonna be rolling. He'll be at the next game. He'll be ready to go. He's not going on IR or anything.
That's awesome. Tim sends us best wishes. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Super funny. It was good. It was good to watch on ESPN. I'm glad that they did that. So Tailgate Crew was crazy. Like Sean Holden C6. That girl like Rossi.
By the way, I'm 2 for 2 for being on pregame TV. Brazil blew up my spot hard. Peacock blew up my spot, and I'm definitely.
I'm always hiding. I got to get up in there. I'm always like, off to the side.
I don't even know how I end up in these spots. I swear, if I was trying, I probably wouldn't be there.
It was crazy.
It just kind of happened,
dude. I don't know any generation. Like, you're gonna look back on like the Eagles of like the 90s and Reggie White and like the McNabb Eagles and like this whole era of Eagles. I feel like
this is different.
It's
different because of social media.
Sean and like Sam Boners, like Mick, Maniac Malloy, and like Malik and E and Philly Sports Guy, like Chase U and freaking Nady and freaking what is his name? The guy that just paints all green.
I don't know.
I never even. We got to know that guy's a legend.
I know, and the other thing that we laugh about is as many times I've hung out with him, I've never talked to Santa. I've never had a conversation with him. He was just there. He just kind of there. He's pretty stoic, pretty silent. And the Zubaz bros too. I don't think I've ever talked. I've jumped around with them. I've danced around with them. I held one of their legs up for a picture. There's a picture somewhere of them with their legs. I used my back so that they could have their legs up, and I draped my Foles jersey over my back. That I want to see that picture.
Oh yeah,
that was wild. Good time, great game up until the end.
And not to be controversial or hot take, but I did have this on the agenda. Speaking of famous people we saw last night, pre-game, Bill Belichick was in attendance, and the Eagles notably they had Fangio as an outside consultant, and then they brought him in as a coach. They from time to time hire these people as consultants of the staff. Maybe he was just there because it was a primetime game and it was Monday.
He's there for inside the NFL, but that doesn't mean he's not.
Yeah, it was strange because he was standing by the Eagles in warm-ups, and he wasn't going by the other team at all. So that was just my
listen, Bill Belichick, you want to come on staff and talk some sense into these numbskulls that want to throw swing passes and 8 swing passes, Brent and Kobe. We don't have this on the agenda, but can I complain about the tight end situation for a little bit? Dude, Dallas Goedert stinks. Either he stinks either he stinks. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. When's the last time Dallas Goedert had a good game?
He was better when they had Hurts, and he was the number 2.
Either he stinks or the play call's not for him. So you think with Brown down, he could be more part of it. Grant Calcaterra is getting all the thing. And what about Jahan Dotson? You give it third round draft pick 0. Bryce Huff to them 0. These guys that are getting, now I'm getting mad again. These guys that we're getting 0 production out of really need to get their act together.
You bring these guys in for depth, and then they can't get them incorporated, and that comes down to the coaching staff. And we didn't really think the Saints were going to be good this year, and we figured we'd win our home opener. The Brazil game was a toss-up game. We kind of got lucky there with the win. But going into when I looked at the schedule preseason, I'm like, yeah, we'll probably win the home opener. We'll probably beat New Orleans. And the 50-50 shot of the Packers game. So call it 2-1 in those 3 games. And then you play the Bucs, who we got beat. Maybe the Eagles will be angry. It'll be a revenge game, but maybe we'll lose that because they're kind of playoff game. I'm yeah, worst comes to worst, we'll be maybe 2-2, 3-1. It's a very good chance now you lose to the Saints. They look amazing, and you lose to the Bucs going into the bye week. They have that early bye. They could make a coaching change there. It will not disrupt the team at all. They have Kellen Moore calling the offense. They have Vic Fangio calling the defense, which you would think it would give Nick Sirianni more time to make.
Oh, the first call for the coach's head is reared its face. I love it.
I mean, it's being talked about, and he's not calling the game. So what do you have to get right? Clock.
Dude.
Run the ball. Timeouts, which, by the way, they had 2 timeouts and the Falcons had none at the end. So you got one there. So I'll give him that. And then decision-making. He can override any decision-making. Hey, we're going to throw there, and he's not calling the game at all. He's got to be throw? What are you talking about, throw? Check into a run. Wishing nothing for the best, everybody. It's going to be a good season. But having said that, 1-1 again. A lot of teams. Late to the conversation. Why didn't we go for it on 4th after Barkley dropped it?
Josh, watch the beginning of the podcast. Please watch the beginning. We
went in deep. We went in deep, but on that 4th down, I think we go up 6.
We went in deep.
Make them go the distance of the field.
In the show.
What's up, special guest?
We got some special guests in the building. My kids are in the building. Wave hi to the internet. So, Josh, to your point early on, and you can go back and listen to it, I made the point that if it was me, I would have ran 2 times in a row. Run it on 3rd, run it on 4th, and then bang. Those 3 points put you up 6 which makes it so they have to score a touchdown, not just tie you with a field goal. But you have Saquon Barkley. You just run him 2 times. You feel like he's got to be able to get 3 yards. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. They could have won it there by running it 2 times. They could have won it at the end by just getting a stop and keeping him out of the end zone. They could have won the game 50 times over. They could have won. They only lost by 1 point, and they didn't kick 2 field goals in the first half. There's another 6 points they left there. So, yeah, a lot of different times. But, hey, we're 1-1. There's a lot of teams 1-1 again. There's a lot of parity in the league. Just keeping it positive. The Saints, are they really going to go 3-0? Can we rise up and get it? I mean, there's gonna be a lot of Eagles fans down there. Saints fans are nuts.
Yeah, Josh, the one run that they did stop was huge. The CJ 4th and 1 stop. You felt like that was a momentum shifter to win that game. But I'm with you. The Saints game is probably a must win at this point because you can't start 1-2.
Way more important. We got away with it in the first week, and you thought you'd win the home opener and being 2-1, and the Saints game will be like, Saints game really doesn't matter, but now it matters a lot. You don't want to be below 500. And the Eagles fans travel really, really well to Tampa. I'm not as worried about the Tampa game as I'm worried about the Saints game.
New Orleans is a tough place to play, man, and them fans are going to be fired.
When we've been bad.
They're 2-0, and that's a great fan base. Credit to where credit's due. They're not going to be selling tickets. They're going to be in that place. So that's going to be a really tough one.
At this point, I'm just hoping the next 2 weeks we go 500 and we're 2-2 going into the bye, and we're not 1-3. It would be a statement maker as well. It would put the Eagles back up in the power rankings if they wanted. It would bring us to 2-1. It would bring the Saints to 2-1. It would shape the league better. The Saints are favorites, so 90% of the money was on the Eagles during Monday Night Football. So a lot of people that
crazy stat
conspiracy think it's rigged or something like that. 90% of the money was Eagles money line last night, and Saints are favorites in this game. Of course.
2 last points that I wanted to make before we put this week to rest and never speak of it again except for the epic tailgate. I have yet to see for a while. It's been a while. The Eagles just jump on a game and control a game. Just own it from the beginning. Just roll a team.
And if Brown's out, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. He's like your guy. He gets big barreling down the field, like touchdown, and blows it open. It's going to be tight.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to win tight games. You're throwing picks and stuff in tight games, and you lose the turnover differential, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
We miss A.J. Brown out here. Oh, yeah. Since when does a hand keep a guy out? He had extra rest from Brazil. They played on Friday. They had all the way till Monday to get him ready.
He heard it at practice, they said.
I know, but then you have a whole other week after that, too?
I don't know.
They don't even really practice that much anymore. They don't pad up or anything.
That's probably why. That's probably why. You go out, you're not practicing, you run 80 million miles an hour, get tackled by guys running 80 million miles an hour, you're going to hurt your
age. No juice, I guess. And then they practice too hard and they get hurt, and then they blame it on that, too. It's always hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're the number 1 offense. The Eagles are the 31st or the 32nd ranked defense. When you look at it on paper, you're like, oh, Eagles defense is the worst in the league right now. The worst. Yeah.
No bueno. But it doesn't feel like the defense is that bad. It feels like to me, it still feels like the offense is just not.
They're in every game. They're just pretty. Definitely not a 13, 14 win team now after that loss. So if you want to be like 1 seed and stuff, you got to win that game yesterday. Unless they just start rolling and rip off 9 straight. But if you want to be top seed or whatever, Eagles are definitely a playoff team. They're 10-win team now. They're at that 10.5 over under or whatever. But you're certainly not a 14-3 craziness. You got to win that home opener last night to be that. Which they were probably a play away. Huff is a bust. Yeah.
That's an expensive bust, $51 million.
Yeah, well,
let's go to the fun stuff.
Yeah,
Meme time.
let's do meme time. Then we'll give our score predictions for the Eagles Saints coming up down here. What do you like?
I get to go first. Part of me wants to go with Bobby Part 2, the Instagram reel, just as a continuation from last week.
Bobby.
So I'll go with that. I'll go with the Instagram reel, Bobby Part 2. The
This one
Eagles
from yesterday, your
tailgate.
recap?
The recap, yeah.
Oh.
You can't get hammered here, home opener edition. Did I throw you for a curveball by picking that?
No, good.
You can't get hammered.
These guys.
Guys sleeping in our section. The end.
He delivers wine and whiskey to Charlie's too, which is crazy.
And to himself and to all the fellow Eagles fans around.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'll go with Bobby. You can't get hammered here, Part 2.
This is mine.
Halftime power net.
This is mine. One E posted me.
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm gonna show you mine. It could be Dumpy getting injured, but mine is literally this guy. Funniest. It's not even ours, but funniest is during NFL games when they cut to like fully grown men just dressed like so stupid. It's so funny. The best is like the Raiders fans and they're like the big like spikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That guy's the man.
Hardcore.
That guy's
Says the guy that was shirtless wearing overalls.
Nah, I'm nowhere near any of those guys.
No,
Nady's
we're not.
Crazy. Nady's iconic.
We have imposter syndrome with a lot of like the crazy fandom, but people that know us know how legit we are and how close we follow the team and how much we love the Eagles. So I feel like I could be mentioned in the same paragraph.
Last night and we're doing this.
I was up at 5 and I did not get that nice little nap time you got today. I had back to school night for my kids and taught all my classes today, and here I am. Go Birds. I got the Eagles losing next week. I'm not going to pick the Eagles to win. I am picking the Eagles to lose to the Saints. 24-17.
So the Eagles.
Actually, it might be uglier than that.
The Eagles.
But I'm gonna try to say it's a little close.
20 hours ago, the Eagles were favorites. Now they're not. They're plus 2.5.
What's the spread?
Really
It's supposed to be close. If they lose another close game.
No, Saints money line is minus 150. Eagles plus 128. Saints are 2-0. It's a nice 1 o'clock for you. There, the over/under is 49.5. So
I'm under. People are thinking that the Saints are going to keep scoring 40 every week. I don't think that happens, but I think AJ Brown's out again, and I think the Eagles offense sputters again. I don't know.
Take the Eagles 27-24. Take the Eagles 27-24. They bounce back. I think we control the ball enough with Barkley and stuff like that they're not going to put up 40 on us. Dallas is just terrible. And that's another thing to give you guys a hope. I'll leave you guys with a little hopium with that is Dallas is like
I have a funny last minute meme of the week. You jinxed us with this one. I forgot about this lady.
Oh yeah. The Falcons are good.
Falcons
16-1.
Falcons hottie got us good. I called her mid. I jinxed us too.
Yeah, I think that the Cowboys are a roller coaster, the Eagles are a roller coaster, and then the other two teams, one's got a rookie quarterback, they're pretty good. And the Giants just stink. So it's gonna be there going in the last couple weeks. It's gonna come down to winning your division games. Losing the conference game last night's a total killer. We got 2 more conference games coming up back to back. We gotta be 2-2, 3-1 going into the break here. And Eagles.
Yeah, I need the Eagles to win me back. That's why I'm picking them to lose. They need to earn back my respect.
No, I mean
they fricked me up yesterday, dude.
They
Staying up
lost
late
the
like
game.
that.
They lost the game. They should
worked
have
so
won. They got to
hard
win a
yesterday.
game they should probably lose. They have no business, and they got to get it back. And that's kind of they shouldn't have really first week with all the turnovers they had. They really shouldn't have won the first game. So that's where they sit 1-1. That's why if you take a step back, we could have been 2-0. But after those, Brazil and crazy and Dunphy tearing his knee and Jason Kelce and flying and trains and planes, and after all that, you're sitting 1-1 just like almost everybody else. I just hope they can keep the media at it. They could stay together. They could stay cohesive. You don't want anybody turning on each other. The Philly's tough.
I liked everything I heard out of the players. I liked Barkley's response. He took ownership. Slay put out a tweet. He took ownership of he got burnt toast. Their players are fine right now. I think they're all still good. And that's a nod for Sirianni that the players are still
they like them a lot. They like them a lot. So that's cool. That's all we got. As always, follow us YouTube. First 1,000 people entered in to win a jersey. We're getting there. And this is always available too. I put it up right away. So like on Wednesday morning, if you ever miss it on Tuesday nights, you can Spotify, you can listen to audio only, iHeart, all that, Apple, Amazon, and then you can watch on YouTube and on Facebook. As always,
I'm gonna do it. Make sure you listen to Phil's new song, the Move Closer Philthy remix. It's out now on all platforms. Phil does once it or organically reach or whatever, but I'm hijacking the end of the podcast. Phil's music is wonderful. He's selfless. He wants it for people to enjoy. I want the song to be number 1.
If you're an Eagles fan, if you're at the tailgate or at any games this year, I will shout out there. Use it as the audio. That's how you could help. Just pick it as the song. And let's rip it. All right, go Birds. We'll see you next week.